Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is my Shop My Stash for April. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be an overview of everything that was in my Shop My Stash for the month of March, and then we will also be selecting some new products for the month of April. I used things up. I tried a lot of new Essence and Catrice stuff. So let me just get stuck into this drawer. So right there in the cubby in the back, I keep things that are used up and my setting spray. And the ColourPop Pretty Fresh, as you can see, is on its last legs. I think this is going to be like another month or so, and then it may be gone. However, it has started to leak, so I'm going to be keeping this on top of my vanity instead. And then the things I used up are my Kruidvat Beauty Flash Illuminating Strobing Cream. This is their primer, and this is very similar to MAC Strobe Cream. And then I used up my lip balm, my Burt's Bees Vanilla Bean. All of a sudden, one day from the next, all of a sudden it was just gone. I can no longer twist it up. My lips are hitting the plastic when it's all twisted up, and I'm not someone who's gonna dig out lip balms. So I did move in the other day this from Essence, the Super Balm. This is new from them in 2024, and it is a really lovely product. I put it in my first impression and said I liked it, and that is most certainly true. I'm not sure if I've taken pictures of this that I can actually review it, but like over on the blog, but just know it's in my Shop My Stash and I do really enjoy it. The Kiko Neutral Eye Base is still going strong. It's getting very, very flat. However, because it is a thicker material, I feel like whenever I squeeze it, something goes up the tube. So I need to always like start using it like this because I feel there's still a lot of product in when I squeeze it from the top down. Like there's still like this much. So there's a lot more than it seems because whenever I squeeze it, some product gets to the top. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. But yeah, this is still going strong and I love this thing. So that's definitely worth a repurchase. My MAC Paint Pot and Painterly and also the eyeshadow that I'm using are going down very, very much. So I've got a nice bit of extra pan this month. So I do think it's going to take me another like 2 to 3 months to use these products up. I think I'm going to be able to buy a new paint pot around the summertime, I'm thinking, with how fast it's going down. I have mascara in here, and these are all still going strong. The Catrice Glam & Doll Volume Mascara in the waterproof version. You know I love. This is always in here. I just buy a new one whenever I run out. The Pure Volume from Catrice in their shade Burgundy Brown. Here you can see the shade. I love this so much that I bought a backup of it. Whoever said in the comments I should try this, thank you so much, because this is such a good volumizing mascara, and it is brown. So for the more natural days, or if I want a softer look, I've been wearing that. And the new Essence Call Me Queen. I love this. I really, really do. I think they've really taken the Lash Princess formula and taken it to another level with this one. So therefore, I do really appreciate this one, and it's going to stay as well because it doesn't feel like it's very dry and clumpy yet, like I know some Essence mascaras can do. I do think that with the Catrice and Essence stuff, because they tend to dry out a little bit quicker than a Maybelline or a L'Oreal mascara in my experience, I might have to roll these out in the next couple of weeks, but I will just do that when that happens. Now, all of my tools and like little things here. And this is usually the main section where I try things and where I also like roll things out. So excuse the mess, because this is what happens. Like this is the real life of using makeup, I feel. So there were 3 base products in the Estee Lauder because I was trying to use it up. The Kruidvat because I wanted to test it out, and also the Essence because I wanted to test it out. I'm doubting whether I should keep the Estee Lauder in for another month or not, because it is sort of getting to the point where I'm like, it's like borderline what I can get away with right now, especially shade-wise. And the next one I want to roll in is the Giorgio Armani. Is there now something on there? Yeah, there was just something stuck on there. But you can see I've used this for the past few months and it's going down really nicely. I don't need a lot of this. I only need like 1 pump and a bit to cover my entire face. So I feel that this is very good value for money. It is my favorite rendition of this like hydrating formula foundation. If I didn't try so many foundations in a given year, I would definitely go back and repurchase this if I do run out of it. But I think I'm gonna keep it in for another month and then go into the Giorgio Armani, the Neo Nude for the summertime to see if I can use that up. And then go back to this in like October, November time when I'm starting to get paler again. And I need something more hydrating again. So then hopefully I can try and see if I can use up 2 to 3 foundations this year. That's the aim. The essence I'm going to tell you a bit more about in the update that I will do towards the end of this month. By the end of April, I should have been able to review all of the new Essence and Catrice stuff. I think I did a pretty good job because it only took me like 6 to 8 weeks to get through everything. The final 2 lip products from the Melt and Shine from Catrice are still on the way, and I will be able to roll in the Jelly Grip Primer from Essence in April as well. So you're going to hear more thoughts on this at the end of April, but you can already see the review, of course, for this if you go to the blog. Just know that I loved it. It looks very pretty on. And this Kruidvat thing very much surprised me. I did review it, so you can see the pictures up on the blog if you're curious, because this is very strange. This is the Perfect Smooth Skin Tint in the shade Fair, and the thing I was worried about, because this is super thick. Let me see if I can like squeeze it out for you. Do you see how thick that is? It's essentially, it texture-wise, when this comes out of the tube, it reminds me of Dream Matte Mousse from Maybelline. But watch what happens when this warms up and you start, like, there's a bit of green on my finger, I do apologize. It's got this weird moussey texture that's almost impossible to squeeze out, and then it turns into a skin tint. I don't know what they did with this. It feels very strange, and it even, like, look at how powdery that looks. So it feels very matte, but this was so pretty on my skin. It wore really well throughout the day. I said in my declutter that I probably wasn't gonna like it because if I just swatch it, it just doesn't work. But this, blending it out with a finger so that the heat of your finger can help this blend into the skin, and then going over top with a brush or something, it worked really, really well, and it looked very pretty on. I wore this on a day where I had a full day. I was testing it out, not really thinking much of it. I was like, oh, it's gonna look horrible, which is why I didn't wear it on a filming day, because I was like, I don't want my makeup to look crappy when I'm filming. But yeah, this looks really, really pretty, and I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I did, but it's still a declutter. I just showed you that I used up my Kruidvat primer, and as you can see, I'm already making great progress with this Catrice Skin Glaze Hydrating Serum Primer. I'm about halfway through this, and I've only been using it for 2 weeks. That's because this only comes with 15 milliliters of product, which is half of a standard size of a primer. It is a good primer though. However, Essence and Catrice come out with so many primers every single time they do a new update that I know that it's not going to be worth a repurchase for me. It does have a bit of pearl to it. I'm not sure if you can see that now that the bottle is no longer full. I like this. It's very hydrating, and again, you're gonna hear more thoughts in the video at the end of the month. Concealer wise, I was very surprised because I put these 2 in to try out because these were some concealers I had yet to review. I do apologize if the Milk makeup is a bit fingerprinty, but I have been using these products. And of the 2, the Maybelline ended up being my favorite, which was a surprise to me because the Maybelline Superstay concealers that they have been coming out with recently, I didn't like. Like, they did one where I kind of liked the formula, but then I didn't, and it wasn't like perfect for me. But this looks really pretty. It's thinner, it's pretty hydrating as well, and it lasts a really long time too. I just didn't love the shade of this, but it's a very long-lasting concealer for sure. But I will be roping in something else for the month of April. And the Milk makeup, I did like this, but I had a bit of a learning curve with this one because this is just a full coverage concealer. It is their Future Fluid, and it's in a nice shade for me. but I had found that if I just put it on like I normally do with concealer, this is too thick, too cakey, too drying, and it accentuates all of the texture on my under eyes, which is where I use concealer the most, really. So the Milk Makeup Future Fluid I found out through Katie Jane Hughes, I think she's called. She's on TikTok and she's a makeup artist, and she was talking about on her channel about how you need to prime your brush to get a better application. So what that means is that you put a bit of product on the back of your hand, and then you use the brush to pick up the product, and then you work the product on the back of your hand into the brush, and then you go on and apply it. And if I use that technique with this concealer, it's beautiful. It's a very beautiful concealer. I will definitely be going back to this at some point because it is pretty, but I think this is better for me in the summertime texture-wise than like March, April time. I think that definitely set it back a little bit. As far as like primers, highlighters, hybrid kind of products, Essence came out with the Magic Filter. Again, more information about this product in the video at the end of the month. Just know I did not like this. This smells like burned plastic, and that really put me off of it. We had all of these liquid blushes and highlighters from both Essence and Catrice. Again, more about these in the video at the end of the month, but if you want to see full reviews, they are already up on the blog. I like the Essence a little bit better because I like the formula. The Catrice ones have a bit more oil to them, so if you have oily skin, these may not work for you because they are so oily. I did say in my declutters that I was going to keep these two shades and I was going to declutter these two because these are just too similar to things I already have. I definitely got those so I could review more shades and see if the formula was consistent. The two I've used the most this month are also this Essence and Catrice version. I really enjoy the Essence one. The highlighter is okay. I like the powder highlighters I had in here a little bit better. So let's talk about those powder highlighters. I had the Space Glam in from Catrice and the Meta Glow from Essence. Both of these promise to do like multi-chrome, duochrome kind of highlighting, and the Space Glam is the highlighter I didn't think I'd need. This is so pretty on the skin. This was my most worn highlighter all month, but again, I will tell you more about it at the end of the month. And the Meta Glow has a really nice texture, but this is just a little bit too intense for my liking. And then we also had some powder blushes, and these were both very successful for me, I have to say. The Blush Crush from Essence in a Cool Berry and Lovely Lilac. Both of these are nice. If I want to go more neutral, I wear this. If I want to go super cool toned, I wear this, and they worked both of them worked beautifully. Concealer wise, as a backup, I had the Tower 28 in here, and I barely reached for it because I was liking my Maybelline one enough. But this is going to stay because it's a product I'd like to use up before the end of the year. The Kiko Sculpt Touch Bronzing Stick. This is a bronzer for me. It is officially a contour, but yeah, I definitely had to put this in a Shop My Stash to give it a proper review, but I love this thing to pieces. However, I have some other things to try, so that will be rolled in again. And just to have something else in here, if I didn't feel like wearing a cream, I had my Kiko Flawless Fusion in here. Why is it not focusing on it? Oh, here we go. So this is the Flawless Fusion bronzer from Kiko, and I love this thing to pieces. Etude House powder is last. You can't really see any progress on this, but I tend to use a powder until it is gone before I roll anything in. This is the Secret Beam powder from Etude House. Really pretty packaging, a really pretty powder. It's very similar to Hourglass's Diffused Light. I don't think they still do this though anymore. If you wanted an affordable alternative though, Kiko Milano's Radiant Fusion in shade 01 is very similar to this. I always like updating you as well on what I was wearing lipstick wise, and I did review a bunch of the new Essence and Catrice stuff this month, so I was testing those out on the down low as well. So I just have one of them in here just to have it as a reminder, but the Shine Bombs from Catrice and also the Essence Melt and Shine, no, the Essence Slim Stick lipsticks I was wearing all month to test them out before my videos went live. The shade 020 Good Taste is the one that I'm keeping around from Catrice. And then I have kept around 4 shades of the Essence ones. These are Velvet Punch, Baby Gut Blush, Brick Road, and Hot Chili. So those are the 4 I'm keeping around from Essence. I wore one of my Romand Juicy Lasting Tints, Water Tint, Glasting Water Tint. I never know the name of these things, but this is in Vintage Ocean, which is one of my favorites. So I wore that one. And then I wore some Lisa Eldridge shades that I don't normally reach for. Of course, Velvet Muse is a staple. We all know that. So this one is very well loved. I still wear this every single week. Every single month you pretty much see that shade. However, I put it back. Velvet Sorcery has become another favorite together with Muse. And the one I'm wearing today, because I filmed some other videos, so if you want to see this live in action, you can see this lipstick on my other channel actually. This is Rosy Shell, which it just turns out that it works really well with these like pastel spring-like makeup looks I've been wearing the past few days. So I've been wearing that a lot. And Velvet Decade, which is not my favorite shade, but I wanted to push myself to see if I can make it work, and it is really pretty on me. And I love my Glossier lipsticks so much that I wear them from time to time. This is the shade Vesper. This is a berry shade, which I've been wearing a lot. And then I wore the Generation G lipstick in Crush. Yes, Crush a few times as well this month. Again, I like how this gives this like just bitten watermelon, you've just eaten ripe fruit kind of vibe. And this is a bit more intense. These are the Ultra Lips. So those were all of the products that were in the drawer already. Let me get into the makeup drawers and select some new products with you guys. All right, so welcome to the face drawer. I need to select some new things, and I just had a look in my little overview like, oh, what do I still need to try? What are still on the to try pile? And foundation wise, I have to try these. So this is the Kiko Cream Foundation Nourishing Perfection in CR15, which looks a bit dark in the pen, but it actually turns this color on my cheeks, on my face. So I think a cream thing is nice. And then the CC Red Correct from Herborian I'd like to try as well, because this is one I haven't tried yet. For bronzer, blush, and highlight, I have yet to try these things from e.l.f. I have taken pictures of these, but I just haven't actually put these on my, like, in a Shop My Stash and like tried them out for you guys. So I realized I still had to do that. So these are gonna go in, all 3 of them. So I have some liquid options as well. For powder bronzer, I think, where did I put it? Is that still here? I think for the powder option, I'm going to review this Kruidvat Sunny Side Up bronzer. This was really pretty and it's quite light, so it's going to be perfect for right now. A few months from now, I think I may be I may need a deeper shade than this. I said I was gonna use the Jelly Grip Primer from Essence. This is new from them. It is similar to the Milk Hydro Grip. And recently I did a highlighter video and it made me realize I need to go back to my Fenty Beauty one. This is the Kilowatt Highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. Major dip with a bit of pan here, but I actually want to get more use out of this lighter, less intense shade, because that's my vibe currently. So I want to try that a little bit more to see if I like it better now that I'm not really into very intense highlighters anymore. And I just realized that I also need to select some new concealers to try, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this Illuminating one and also the Gucci one. So these are quite recent finds for me. I picked up the Gucci one earlier this year and I haven't used it yet. So these I'm going to roll in, and then I'm going to keep the Tower 28 in to, if I don't happen to like these, to have something on hand that I know I love. And for some extra blushes, I want to put in something warm toned, something cool toned. The e.l.f. one seems to have shimmer in, so I want to review Encourage from Rare Beauty. I know I love Hope from this line, but I haven't reviewed Encourage yet. And the Tower 28 in Dream Hour. I bought this for my cool tone blush video that I did at the start of the year, but I haven't really used it enough to really review it. So that's why I do want to get more use out of it. And this way we have a nicely cream, like blushes, like a cream heavy blush section. So I may want to put in a powder just in case. And I think the season to still be trying this is this Kaleidos blush in Pale Rose. This came out with their most recent collection. This doesn't even show up on camera very well, but it's a very light pink, but it isn't super cool tone. So this is a good neutral, I think. So I've put everything in and I feel it looks a lot better than it did before. These products are just not as big. as the products that were in here previously, so it fits a lot better. I like this so much more. So I just have some like bronzer and blush here in the back, and then those e.l.f. sticks to try. I'm liking the layout here. So let me show you what I will be reviewing eyeshadow palette wise and which palettes I will go back to. So you will see in a video on Saturday what palettes these are exactly are, and why I decided to buy these, because these I haven't even shown you yet in a haul. Because these are brand new to me. I ordered these off of Monolith. These are the first palettes I've ordered since Black Friday. So it is the Wizard from Fantasy Cosmetica, the Cold Moon from Ensley Rain. I was one of the happy few who did get their order on time because they ran out of these, and for some reason people could still order them, but mine came just fine. Lands of Enchantment. Can I show you this full screen? I don't think I can. And this is their like Parsley palette. I really wanted to try Ensley Rain this year, and I'm really happy to tell you that we're gonna do it. So you get those jewel tones towards the bottom and some pastels there, and I think these are gonna be perfect for the springtime. So it's only 3 palettes that I will be testing out, but this one is pretty big. And also the Cold Moon, like this is 25 shades and the Cold Moon is 21. So, but yeah, I got these in and I hadn't shown them to you in a haul yet. So I'm pretty much now caught up with eyeshadow palette reviews, which I'm super happy with. But because there aren't that many palettes here, because they are bigger, I'm probably gonna, like, this Lands of Enchantment, I think I'm gonna have to do 5 looks with this just to try all of the shades. So that's like a week's worth of eyeshadow. But because we have fewer palettes in here, I do want to go back to some more palettes. And these are all things that sort of came up in my declutter as things that I just forget I have. And I do really enjoy these palettes, so they stick around, but I don't use them nearly enough. So that's why I do want to go back to these and use them again for a Palettes Revisited. In case you're wondering where the Palettes Revisited video is for March, because I was doing all of my declutters, I didn't have enough space in my March planning to film that video and have it up. So that video is going to come next week. So I've just moved it up a little bit because I'm still sort of doing the looks, because I'm also filming this video in advance because I will be doing a little bit of traveling this week. So that's why things are sort of running out of order from how I'm filming it and when things can go live. So that video is coming maybe later this week, if not sometime next week. So yeah, the thing I wanted to try, it all started actually with this, the Makeup Monsters Dragon Child, and now they're called Menagerie. That's how old this is. And I look at this color story and always go like, what should I do with it? But then when I scrutinize the shades that are in here, I'm thinking spring. I mean, save for this and this gray perhaps, but these purples, like I especially want to do a look with these purples and perhaps these like aqua shades. Like how cool would it be? Like this in the crease, this to deepen things up, and then this together with this on the lower lash line and this as a shimmer shade. I think it's a look, so I definitely want to use the Dragon Child again. And then I thought, as I was rummaging through my drawers, why not go back to some other Menagerie palettes, because I love these color stories. I did reorganize my Flight Club because I used to own the Violet Ink, and that had some shades in that I wanted to replace this with. So there were some neutrals in here that I didn't love because they were quite warm toned, like a bit more in this sort of vein, you could say. So I pulled some of those bluish toned shades, and I think also this one, from the Violet Ink into this palette, and it's now a bit more purple, and now it's my perfect purple palette. And we all know I love a good purple, so I wanted to go back to this. Like, I think, you know, these 2 shades with maybe like something like this, this, and this, I think I'm gonna love that. And one of my favorite colorful palettes, but I haven't used it in a while, is the Feral from Menagerie. This has these really pretty springtime greens in, together with the yellow. It's a look, but I also like the pink contrast with this aqua shade. The pinks go really nicely together with the purple as well. Or I could do a full-on neutral look with the teal on the lower lash line. So many options with this one. I love this one. It's one of my favorite colorful palettes, as I mentioned. And I'm really digging the colorful things. Like, I had some more colorful things in my palettes to go back to for March situation, and I'm really enjoying color again because of it. They were more like softer pastel leaning things, but this way I can sort of go back to some brighter things. This is one that I always forget I have it. So it's time for me to go back to it to really determine whether I like this, yes or no. It's gonna stay another round. I love Silver Mauve. That's my favorite shade in this entire palette. It's the Lorac Pro 4, by the way, in case you were wondering. Is it in focus this way? So yeah, this has some really pretty shades in, and I remember this one being like my favorite color story by Lorac that I still have, so that's why I just need to use it more. And I love these three, and I love combining them. And I haven't, like, part of me is like, I've gone back to these, right? But I can go back to them again. So this is the Nude Rich from Huda Beauty. And then we have Sand Haze. And we have Nude Light. So here's the deal. I do want to try and do this palettes revisited video for April, like as soon as possible. It could be that I'm moving it into the beginning of May, because I like planning wise, April is like ending at a very weird moment. So I think like 1st or 2nd of May is like a Thursday, and that's usually an upload day for me. So I think I may want to make this like my first video of May or something like that. But that way I have plenty of time to try out the new things. But yeah, I think I can get through those in like 2 weeks or so. And then I still have the rest of the month left to play around with these things, which I think is a nice one. So this way we have a bit of neutral things to play with, some colorful things. The Ensley Rain things seem to have some very interesting shades in, so I can't wait to try those. Yeah, I think I've put together a nice Shop My Stash again. Some new products to me that I haven't tried before, more shades of things I knew I loved. The tail end of the Essence and Catrice trial is in this month. And yeah, I feel ashamed that I had forgotten to review these. They're not up on the blog, so I know I still have those images somewhere. Yeah, that is my Shop My Stash for April. Stay tuned for more content. I will be doing eyeshadow palette week sometime in April as well. So stay tuned if you want to get daily videos with eyeshadow palettes for a week, because that's definitely something that's coming. I do make 4 regular videos to begin with anyway, so maybe that's something you're interested in. I have a second channel where I post once a week, a blog where things go live daily as well. So I hope to catch you in one of those spaces, and then I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.